Pookie, how are we rating AX?
Like, in what tier?
What tier is AX?
F.
F for fire, fun, friends, and financially ruined by my merch purchases.
What do you mean? We made enough. Lost it all.
Guys, when I tell you just getting into LA took years off of my life, just 3 hours before my flight, American Airlines canceled my original itinerary and tried to rebook me on a 2-layover 13-hour flight, which would have resulted in me missing my setup window and forfeiting my AX table. But we still somehow made it. It just cost us unexpected $888, bringing my total expenses to around $2.5K.
Other than the stickers and sticker sheets and all the other self-serve items, we are pretty much set up. One thing I'm trying out with tote bags is displaying the other designs like this, because otherwise they take up way too much space on the table. Also have some new embroidered charms, and I think they're super cute. I'm so excited to debut them. I hope people like them.
Setup was so much easier with C around. One thing I wasn't a fan of though was how all of the tables touch, but there's really no getting around that when a con decides to accept 1,000 artists. AX does staggered setup windows, so most artists weren't set up yet, but it was cool getting to walk around the artist alley and lobby before the crowds actually rolled in for the weekend. I've never seen AX looking so empty before.
There's already a huge line. It is 8:14. The artist alley line just keeps getting longer and longer. They said that we would be able to go in at 8:05, but there haven't been any announcements since. And they had originally wanted us to be show ready by 8 a.m., so obviously that is not happening. What an eventful first AX. I feel like this con year is just cursed. 8:20, have a lot to set up still, so please pray for us. They haven't actually told us when Artist Alley is going to open to attendees, so right now we're just scrambling, trying to get all of our self-serve items out on the table. It's 9:06. I guess we've opened because they haven't made any announcements, but I've started seeing some attendees roll in. There are still some artists who haven't made their way in yet, but we just opened, I guess, and I have made my first sale for the day. This is what we look like behind the table. I have all of my hair clips and my Quickie keychain, acrylic charms, my microfiber cloths, and my new embroidered charms. On this side, I have my earrings, and then a lot of like my booth maintenance sort of stuff, as well as all of the things that I have to restock throughout the day, like stickers and sticker sheets. As far as the space we get behind our table, there is a decent amount of space to walk, but we're not supposed to put any suitcases or anything, and the tables are literally all touching up until the end of the row, so I've had to crawl in and out of my booth a few times already. It is 11:39, so we're about 3 hours in, and so far I have made back table, which is amazing, but honestly speaking, I'm a little underwhelmed by how empty the rows have been. I don't know if there are some big panels going on or if the fire this morning made it so that people are rolling in very slow. But I think I kind of just expected more out of a con like this. So far, it's been very manageable. I think I could be soloing this morning, but yeah, we'll see how the rest of the day goes. Enjoying our girl dinner. Cheers.
Whatever, cheese sandwiches, open face.
I have to say, despite being full lottery this year, the Artist Alley is still stacked. Everyone is so incredibly talented. It's so humbling to be in a room with so many amazing artists, and it's just a reminder of how many artists are really vying for limited space at cons.
It is now 4 p.m. We made back most of our major expenses, which is amazing. Although I will say, I think I came in with maybe too high of an expectation just based off other Artist Valley vlogs that I've watched and numbers that I've heard. But obviously it's just Thursday. I'm hoping that the traffic gets way busier throughout the whole weekend. It's just such a relief to have made back all of the major expenses. I'm still anticipating maybe like a couple extra $100 for food and Uber throughout the weekend. But otherwise, we are solidly in profit territory. Yay! We're ready for day 2! Crying they won't let us into exhibitors right now, so we're getting kicked out. Guys, please go to Rotted on Hollywood Boulevard. They have the yummiest duck. It tastes good as leftovers too. Go to his restaurant. Like the kids love. Koi fish, right? Okay. Do you want a bag for it? Okay. Thank you so much. Hi there.
Hello.
It is 12 p.m. Friday, and it has picked up after a pretty slow and kind of like underwhelming morning. Yay! Finally, and I love it a lot. The 360. We are opening up this cursed JJK worm blind box that C got. They told me that if it's Choso, I can have it. So let's open it up together. Wait. Actually,
Who wants to come trade with something with you?
oh, it's a full set of them.
Okay.
Actually, never mind. It looks like we have probably all of them here. So let's just open them up for fun. We got Worm Gojo. It's so silly. We got Choso. Okay, people really aren't kidding about the high CO2 level. I'm currently sitting outside because I'm feeling a little bit lightheaded. We still have about an hour left before Artist Alley ends, but it just feels so awful in there, and I think we have it better than a lot of other people because we are by one of the larger aisles. Even if you feel like you can handle the amount of traffic in Artist Alley, I'd still recommend having a helper just so you can have a break to sit outside for a bit. I'm so grateful to see right now. They really have everything under control, and I feel like super confident leaving them there, which is great because I just don't feel like I can interact with attendees right now. This is Erica. Hi! Look how cute all her stuff is. Oh my gosh. That's so cute! Yeah, of course. Oh, that's so cute. Perfect, you're all set. Thank you. I just got the cutest little guy. I am so obsessed with him, and the artist was so sweet. He also gave me a snack. You need to get your hands on one of these guys. Day 4, let's go. Is the worst enabler. I sent them off to exhibitors and they were texting me photos of Alien Stage merch, so I was literally shopping from behind the booth. Let me show you what I got. I got this cute Luca pouch. Till is my favorite, but I thought the Luca colors were so cute. They should have made Till's bag green. It's like black and doesn't fit with my outfits, but I got this. And then I got this standee, 2 blind boxes. I actually told C to treat themselves to a blind box if they wanted one to increase my pull chances. I'm really hoping for obviously the Till, but I would also be really happy with Luca, Sua, or Mitzi. Oh my gosh! We got Sua! Look how cute she is! Oh my god, we got the girlfriends. Look at them! Got Mickey ring. Oh my god. Is our massive haul. Were we here to make money or spend money? This enabler! Vinny! 1 week later, Apollo jump scare. I told myself that if I hit a certain profit goal at AX that I would dye my hair again, and I did, so here's how it turned out. Now I get to actually look cute for the rest of the summer con season. So what actually sells at Anime Expo? I'm primarily an original artist, and I have to say AX is one of the only shows I've done where my fan merch did not move at all, as in there are literally charm designs that I did not sell a single one of, although my more niche fandom sticker sheets still moved pretty well. I chalk this down to just a lot of fandoms being so oversaturated in an artist alley with almost 1,000 artists. Realistically, someone might have had 20 or more opportunities to buy an Alien Stage charm before they even saw my table. There will always be attendees at an anime con that are only looking for anime merch and only of whatever is new and trendy. However, I don't think your success at Anime Expo hinges on whether or not you're able to grab that audience, especially when the competition for that audience is so high to begin with. I feel like the bottom line is that you just need to stand out somehow, whether that's through your original art, niche fandoms, or just like, I don't know, your insane print design skills. I just wouldn't assume that you could go to AX with like every hype fandom and just automatically make a paycheck. I also wasn't in any stamp rallies. Do I think you need to be in one? Not really. I know stamp rallies have kind of become the artist alley meta, but I think attendees are just getting stamp rally fatigue, if I have to be honest, especially at a con like AX where there might be multiple rallies happening for a single fandom. I just think that it's hard to convince attendees to spend upwards of like $50, $60 at specific tables when they have so many options to choose from.
I mean, who knows? Maybe I would have done much better if I had joined a stamp rally myself, but for someone with not a lot of fan merch, it really is hard for me to form a cohesive rally with anyone. At the end of the day, I can only really speculate how much a stamp rally would have affected my own sales and traffic, but I definitely don't regret not being in one, though I might consider hosting one myself next year if I get it. Overall, was AX worth it, and would I do it again? Yes, I think despite everything, AX was still worthwhile, and I would definitely love to be back. I think the caveat is don't go into AX with the expectation that it'll blow your mind or that it'll blow every other con out of the water, because then you'll just end up disappointed. As you guys know, I walked away with a good chunk of change. It's more money than I've ever made at a con before. At the same time, and I mentioned this a few times during the con, AX just fell short of what I imagined. Not in terms of profit, just in that it was so overhyped. Granted, maybe it's because I'm still relatively new to the artist alley scene and I don't exactly have a huge following that's rushing to come find me every day, but I found that mornings were incredibly slow. I never really struggled with crowd control even during the busiest hours, which is something I've at times struggled with at even smaller events than AX. And while AX is definitely a big con, it just doesn't feel in the moment like the biggest con in the US, if that makes sense. My expectations were also skewed by some of my artist friends telling me to bring crazy amounts of inventory. While I was able to condense my setup and inventory to just 2 suitcases by the end of it from the 3 that I flew in with, trust me, I still went back with a lot of inventory, and that's with me ignoring some of my friends' suggestions. On top of that, AX is also a very physically demanding show. Not only is it 4 days long, it also takes place in CUTIES Hall, which is actually a parking garage, and the CO2 levels get insane in there. I usually solo all of my shows, so I consider myself to be someone with pretty high stamina for things like this, but on Friday and Saturday, I was feeling actually physically ill to the point where I was getting dizzy and I could hear myself stumbling over my words and asking attendees the same questions multiple times because I was just so lightheaded. Finally, AX is just a very expensive show to do. It's actually my highest expense con so far. Not only is the table incredibly expensive, but your costs can also just rack up really fast in a city like LA, especially if you have to Uber back and forth or if you're splurging on food. It's to the extent that I wouldn't be surprised if there were artists that were netting a similar amount or even more at much smaller shows just because they're able to keep their expenses lower for those shows. If we look at numbers, my entire Thursday actually went to covering expenses for the whole trip, so I didn't actually start entering profit territory until the start of day 2, where it's pretty typical for me to start profiting day 1 at smaller shows just because I can keep those costs lower. All that aside, I'm not complaining about my profits at all, so please don't misunderstand me. I'm genuinely so lucky that anyone even cares about my art, let alone wants to buy it. When I started this journey a year and a half ago, AX seemed so far out of reach for me, this little artist who at the start handmade everything. So even though it didn't turn out exactly the way I imagined it, I'm still so grateful for this opportunity. Like, it is honestly a dream come true, and I'm so thankful for everyone who stopped by. It really meant the world to me. That said, I still wanted to share my honest experience, the good and the bad. That way people can be more informed and making the decision of whether or not to apply to AX. I feel like AX just really took me out of my comfort zone in a lot of different ways, including vlogging for the first time, and I'm really grateful for all of the friends that I got to spend it with. So while there were issues and I have my fair share of criticisms, I don't regret doing AX at all. I would love to be back, and I'm excited to take you guys with me on the rest of my summer con season.